Preecy ultimately ends in a 4-2 defeat this afternoon at Scunthorpe United. Where do you begin to pick the bones out of that?
You know, so close but so far. I don't think the scoreline really reflects the game. It was close. Just saying, you look at the 4 goals they scored. You know, you get a goal like Carlton's, probably against you 1 every 10 games. You know, we make a mistake off a cross. You know, Cals goes to clear it and miss it, and it bounces and lands to the land. Probably happens 1 every 10 games. You know, when Roberts gets in behind us, you know, it might be offside, so it might be a bad decision. You might get 1 of those every 10 games, or we've switched off. Very rarely we switch off. We might do that 1 every 10 games. And the other goal, we've missed. You know, the lads got through 2 challenges. You know, that very rarely happens. You know, again, something might happen once every 10 games. It's happened to us in 1 game and a big game, and we've ended up conceding 4 goals from it. You take that away, and there's absolutely nothing in the game. And we've come here, we scored 2 goals. I think there's only 2 other teams that have scored 2 goals here all season. We've come here, been positive. You know, played 2 up front. We've been aggressive. We've been on the front foot. We have long periods where, you know, we've had pressure on them. You know, 20 minutes after half time, that, you know, they hardly went in our half. We just couldn't get that goal to get us back to 3-2. Then we concede, and you look and think 4-1. God, this could be 5-6. But you know, they've just highlighted. The lads have highlighted what we like, what we've been all season. You know, when it gets tough and you feel like, you know, we're done and dusted, we come back and we get back to 4-2, and then we have 2 or 3 scrambles, opportunities where we, you know, if that goes in, it don't matter. With the 5 minutes left, we're still in the game. You know, and probably the biggest respect that we can get is that, you know, at that score 4-2, we're going into injury time, they're keeping the ball in the, you know, at a corner kick. So I just wanted us to be positive, not be left wondering if we'd had a go, and we had a go, and I couldn't be more proud of the performance. Feel a bit unlucky with the scoreline, but credit to Scunthorpe. You know, they were clinical. The quality when they got behind us, and they got in those positions, they were absolutely ruthless. And probably that is, you know, that's the difference when you get at the very, very top of the league. You know, that's that difference, that quality. You know, I remember Willow got behind him and pulled it back for Warren at 3-1, and when he pulled it back, you know, a yard away from him, where when they pulled it back, it was perfect in Roberts' stride. And that's the difference, that's the quality, that's what you pay, you know, that's what you pay for, not taking anything away from Willow or Warren or anything, but, you know, those are the fine lines. And he gets that pass right to Warren, it's 3-2. You don't know, we might be talking about something really different.
You touched on the sort of the heart and the endeavour of the players to come back the way that they did from 3-1, but also beginning of the game, it was the worst possible start, going behind to Whitehall, and straight away the response was there from Cole Hall. 2 goals from him today, and he was out there, you know, heart on his sleeve. He played for the shirt, and so did everybody else today.
Yeah, that's what I've just said into them. The thing I love about the players is when the going gets tough, they don't fold and they don't give in, and they keep going. And anything gets thrown at them, they'll get through it. And you know, I can't be more honoured to have that bunch of lads and work with those bunch of lads. And a lot of them have had their best seasons in their career, and we'll carry on and we'll thrive from the season that they've had. And it is gutting, and we are gutted. And you know, people might think that, oh well, you know, it's Scunthorpe away, you know, you've done well. And, you know, we are gutted. We felt that we had a real chance of getting promoted this season. We felt we had a real chance in the playoffs. I feel that, you know, there was a point in the season when we had a real big chance of winning the league. but you know, I feel like we missed a big opportunity, but you know, we managed to get into the playoffs. And then, you know, I said we were never coming here for a day out. We were never coming here to say, oh yeah, look, we've done brilliantly this season. We're devastated. We're devastated. People say we've done well, but we're devastated ourselves. We set the goal of getting promoted, and the league's only going to get harder. So, you know, at the minute we're absolutely gutted, but I can't ask any more off these lads. They've just give everything for this football club, and that's all you ask as a manager. That's all you can ask as fans, is that when they put that shirt on, they play like a fan, and our players play like a fan's wearing shirt.
It must be hard to take any kind of positives at this moment in time from the game, but to leave everything on the line there, no stones unturned, it must give you some encouragement going forward with this group of players.
Yeah, look, I was encouraged last year when went to Brackley and put on such a good performance. You know, we couldn't find that cutting edge that day. You know, we found the cutting edge today, but then, you know, uncharacteristically, we made one or two errors and got punished for it. You know, look, it's football. It can happen, but it takes none of the belief I've got in the players. You're just now on your edge of your seat because, again, you know, we've done fantastically well with our recruiting and bringing players in, and like I say, a lot of players have had their best season. You know, you almost feel sometimes that you're doing the work for other people now to see the potential that we've seen, you know, and we've worked and we've developed and we've got them, you know, playing with confidence and belief, and then someone, you know, will probably, you know, be waiting to try and take them off us. But you know, I'm absolutely gutted at this minute, but you know, just pleased we put on a performance, and you know, to get some of the Scunthorpe fans clapping us off as well is, you know, that means a lot. It's you know, this is a club that's been had some tough times over recent years. They've been at a real high level, and you know, they showed a bit of class today, which is nice. You know, obviously, you know, there's a bit of banter going on in the big day out, and surely it's a big day out and stuff, but you know, that's part of football, that's banter. At the end, then you really see, you know, what they think, and you know, that you know, they've done well to come back through that period and get themselves to the final.
For the here and now, then, I guess time for you, your players and your staff to rest, recuperate, and then build yourselves back up again to go again once more next season, and no doubt that we will come back stronger from this.
Yeah, I just got to look and just reflect on it. You know, I just have a look. You know, I have to have a look at myself as well, and you know, there's just, you know, this season's been as tough as I've had. It's been real hard work, and it's tested me mentally, and you know, to achieve what we've done is great. You know, I'm not happy with it, but we were very close, you know, and it is obviously, you know, we just have a look at how things go over the summer and look at that, and then, you know, decide where we go from there. But you know, I can't thank the fans enough, you know, to fill that area there. Over 500 fans. It's incredible support. You know, I just can't thank them enough for getting behind us and staying behind us. You know, when things get tough at some clubs, you know, you see the fans turn, and it can be poisonous. You know, there's been absolutely none of that. It's been everybody supporting, and that's why we can, you know, sometimes we can take a bit of time with players like Cole Hall and Tom Carr and that, because, you know, they're going to take a bit of time to come, and if everybody's getting on their backs and having a go at them and not allowing them to make mistakes, then they're never going to develop. And you know, when people get behind them and give them that opportunity, you can see how they can flourish. So you know, that's massive, and that's a big thank you to the fans for helping those players develop, and you know, that's part of why we're so strong as a football club.